Wonder Woman number 8, written by Brian Azzarello, art by Cliff Chang. We left off last issue with basically Wonder Woman having a little fight with Hephaestus, getting all settled, and then they're saying, all right, you're going to go to hell tomorrow. So this issue picks up with the gearing up scene where Wonder Woman is in Hephaestus's armory, and despite there being a load of super high-tech and powerful guns, Wonder Woman specifically goes for a sword, a dagger, a shield, and some pretty light armor. And Hephaestus is like, you do understand how archaic that is, right? And she's like, it's how I was raised, man. We're going to do this. Lennox picks up a minigun and says how he likes the heft of this one, but then Wonder Woman says, no, I'm going alone. You're not coming with. And Hermes makes the point that the only way to get into hell is either to be dead or to be escorted in by Hermes. And Eros steps up, Hephaestus steps up, everyone's like, oh no, we don't mind, we'll go with you. And they're like, no, I have to do this alone. This is on me. So Hephaestus hands over Eros's golden guns to Wonder Woman and says, here, take these. Just have a little bit of modern firepower, for the love of God. So Hermes and Wonder Woman teleport into hell. And Wonder Woman's like, this is not what I was expecting. It's empty and barren. Like, what's going on? And Hermes basically says, yeah, hell is shaped by whatever Hades' imagination is at the time. And clearly he was thinking of you because the entirety of hell looks like a black and white version of London. So yeah, they're crossing the bridge, and she's like, where are all the souls? I figured this would be crawling with all of the dead. And it's like, it is. Everything, this entire London cityscape is made out of souls. Like, this is it. This is all them making up the floor. And she's like, oh, how could Hades force them to do this? And he's like, I don't think you understand eternity yet, Wonder Woman. See, when you have all this time, you kind of just do things for a while because why not? Like, as soon as you stop, you still have the rest of eternity to go. So, yeah, they weren't really made to do this. They just are doing it. Meanwhile, one of the statues cracks open, and we see inside is a skinless man riding a skinless horse who comes after Wonder Woman and attacks. Meanwhile, all the souls are reaching up from the ground to grab at Wonder Woman and Hermes. And so we get an extended fight scene here. Hermes tries to take care of the skinless man, whereas Wonder Woman is told, hey, you need to go find Zola. Go hide in the trees or whatever. So Wonder Woman makes her way out. She comes across a couple other statues that start peeling off their outer shells to become skinless men. And Hades starts talking through them, saying, like, you left me no choice. I had to take her. Like, this, I don't know why it's so important to you. And she's like, oh, it's because all life is important to me. And she does a cool flip and chops off the heads of all these skinless men, except for one, which Hermes comes in and saves her for crushing his head beneath her talent. Crushing its head beneath his talons. That's the words. So immediately they look into the trees and they see some lights, and they realize that must be where Zola is. So they go after it. They go through some creepy woods where the trees are literally all made up of dead bodies until they come across Zola's farm. And as they enter it, Zola comes out with a shotgun, like, oh, I swear I'm going to fire at you if you don't tell me who you are. And they're like, oh, Zola, Wonder Woman, it's you. I knew you'd come for me. Even after all of the months of waiting, I knew you'd come. And Wonder Woman's like, months? Zola, it has not. But then Hermes cuts her off and be like, yeah, we still got to go, so let's bail. Then Hades comes out of the fireplace inside the cabin, along with a whole bunch of souls to basically trap them. And tells her, hey, here's the deal. You made a deal with us. You said that we would rule the world with Zeus, and we would rule the world as the new Zeus, pretty much, and we would have Hera as our bride. And she's like, yeah, well, that's not going to happen. She's like, cool, so I'm going to keep Zola and her child. And he's like, well, that's not all you want, though. You specifically focused on the bride bit. You want a queen? And he's like, yeah, you promised me. And he's like, okay, can I give you anything else besides that? And he's like, those guns you have, those belong to Eros, correct? She's like, yeah, give them to me and then we're even. He's like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, give me the guns. And then we're even. I'll let Zola go and Nope, no hard feelings. And he's like, okay, all right. I mean, I'm down with that. So he hands over Eris's guns, and then he's like, all right, I have what I want. And then Zola, Hermes, and Wonder Woman start walking out of hell. And then he says, hey, Wonder Woman, bang. And he shoots Wonder Woman. She puts up her bracelet to deflect it, but because it's a literal god gun, it goes through it and pierces her chest. And immediately everyone starts freaking out over that. But then Hades just says, hey, Hermes, tell the family there's going to be a wedding. And Wonder Woman tells Hermes to take Zola away from there, because she refuses to leave Wonder Woman's side. But he teleports her out, and Hades is like, can't you see? She's in love. So, yeah. Hades is going to marry Wonder Woman. This is good. I feel like this is pretty much on par with the other Wonder Woman issues. The series as a whole has a good way of doing an overarching story while still keeping each issue as its own individual, like, you got the 3-act structure within each issue, whereas there is this bigger overarching story going on throughout all of them. It does a good job of keeping everything compartmentalized, where last time was the deal between Poseidon and Hades. Or, sorry, that was 2 issues ago. The issue before that, or last issue, was Hephaestus' story. Now this issue is getting Zola back from Hades. It's all very compartmentalized, but I think it's a good way of dealing with it. Make sure that nothing is really overpowering, where I'm confused over, like, okay, we've got 50 gods running around, each with their own thing. What's happening now? I only have to focus on the one thing that's happening this issue, and it's very much for the better of it. So overall, I give this issue an 8. I think it's very well done. I do really enjoy Cliff Chiang's art. I'm curious if the time loss for Zola is really going to be a thing at all, because she, I honestly think it was probably just to get her farther along in the pregnancy, because she is very visibly pregnant now. So, yeah, it was probably just to speed up that story. But interesting to see what else is going to shake out from the fact that Wonder Woman is literally dead now. So we'll see what follows up in that next issue.